So this is the first home that we've officially labeled as net zero ready. It won a CHBA award for best production net zero bungalow home last year, and it won the OHBA best production one-story home in Ontario last year.
This time on Chasing Net Zero, we're going back to beautiful Muskoka cottage country in central Ontario to see some amazing net zero homes and learn Stratton Homes' secrets for building net zero ready homes.
If we're going to make a difference with housing, it has to be energy efficient, sustainable without sacrifice. And that's how we bring it to scale, is if we can build a home that's energy efficient and the homeowner doesn't even realize it, that's the goal.
Kyle Newman was determined to find a scalable and cost-efficient pathway to net zero ready. Standing in a Stratton home under construction, Kyle Newman explains their net zero features.
Yeah, so the wall assembly that we ultimately landed on fit 3 criteria. It was cost efficiency, energy efficiency, and buildability. In that we want to think about the safety and the efficiency of our guys on site that are putting this in place. So we use a 2x6 wall with fiberglass bibs insulation, and we use a product called IsoBrace that has the OSB sheathing applied directly to the foam. And then we're seeing the back side of it here. But this is a Siga Maj vest, and we use their tapes. We're getting ready for windows here in a couple of weeks, and that the Siga Maj vest we've really found helps us hit the air tightness, the lower door test that we want. And as we've seen with the performance modeling that we've done, is that some of the lowest hanging fruit for us on energy efficiency is that really tight building envelope.
Homeowners in Muskoka want big windows to see the beautiful outside world, and this is just one reason that would make it hard for Newman to use a prescriptive certification such as Passive House. Building to a flexible net zero ready standard helps keep costs down and satisfy customers' wants and needs at the same time.
So part of the secret sauce for us on our path to net zero is trying to pick a path that lives in the background, where it's the energy efficiency without sacrifice, that the client doesn't even know that they're living in an energy efficient home. So part of that is the air tightness. We see a huge impact from building to our goal is to every home be below 0.6 air change per hour. And then the building envelope, inclusive of the windows, so like having a really good triple glazed window. And part of the philosophy behind that too is that, the most energy efficient homes are homes that have no windows or tiny little windows. And, we live in a beautiful area, so we want to bring the outside in. So it's critical for us to have really high performing windows and having this. And then a mechanical system that ties into an air source heat pump is critical.
Stratton uses exceptionally high-quality windows to bring the big Muskoka views inside. The hybrid heating system relies mostly on a heat pump for heating and cooling.
So in this scenario, we typically go with a gas furnace, and it's not trying to rely on the use of gas. We're using a gas furnace predominantly as our air handler and a place for our coil from the air source heat pump. And then the gas, whether it's in this case it's propane, just because we're not on services here, provides the backup heat or the auxiliary heat. And then we're using an ERV, and we're using air source heat pump water heaters. And then bringing it all together, we're trying to build mechanical rooms that really represent what we're doing properly. One of the biggest things to it in innovations that we've been adopting in every single one of the homes that we've built and projects that we've been a part of is air source heat pumps. The simplicity of install, the cost, and how effective they are. It really makes this possible.
Summing up, the Stratton system for getting to net zero goes like this: R30 walls, R60 ceiling insulation, air source heat pump, air sealing with Siga permeable air barrier, Blower door tests achieving as low as 0.6 air changes per hour. R10 or 4 inches of foam insulation beneath the basement floor. Aero barrier air seal technology. Ultra efficient triple glazed windows. An 82% efficient ERV, energy recovery ventilation system, drain water heat recovery, and an air source heat pump water heater. Morgan Shaver's a long-time home builder and the director of construction at Stratton Homes. He's built many homes for himself, and he wanted to personally experience everything they were doing at Stratton. So, when he built his own home recently, he included every net zero feature and more.
This build included full triple pane windows in the whole house. We have air source heat pump water tank, air source heat pump washer and dryer, induction stove, cooktop. Yeah, just tried to take all the best of the best and put it into our build.
Now that he's living in it, Morgan is even more sold on the net zero ready standard.
It's just the comfort of the house is night and day. You can be in the house and looking out those big windows and there's a blizzard outside and like you don't hear a whistle or a creak or like there's no cold zones in the house. Like it's just warm and efficient.
Kyle Newman not only researched and tested every net zero solution for its efficiency and cost effectiveness, he even tested 3 different home construction techniques.
So these are the first 3 homes that we built under the Stratton brand. This home was panelized construction. This one was volumetric modular, and then the one that you can kind of see in the distance was stick built. And the floor plans are very similar, the finishes are very similar, and the intent was to compare the 3 different methods and do a measure of performance and cost efficiency.
In order to build homes faster, for lower cost, many builders have gone to panelized construction. The idea is you build entire walls in a warm factory very quickly, to very tight specifications, and then you can quickly erect the walls and add the roof in a matter of days on site. This is nice if you're building in Canada's cold climate. But Kyle Newman and Stratton Homes are located more than 200 kilometers from the big city, and they build homes down narrow, winding roads and even on islands. For comparison, volumetric modular involves building multi-wall modules in the factory and then craning them onto the foundation. And stick-built is the standard way of building from scratch on site, starting with a big pile of lumber. In his remote applications, Newman may use panelization in some circumstances, but
ultimately the stick frame, we're able to just point our systems to it and our assembly so that we can just rinse and repeat and do the same thing over again.
Newman has also looked at the cost of going net zero in these homes.
What we did realize with these 3 homes is that the cost of going from building code minimum to the net zero ready standard versus what the actual cost of operation was, that's where we kind of had that aha moment of like, this is a cost neutral upgrade, if not better. If we consider that we're putting maybe $30,000-$40,000 in upgrades to get to net zero on a mortgage, we're about $100 a month, $150 a month maybe in today's mortgage rates. Whereas what we're seeing is that we're saving more than that on the utility costs. So there's a direct cost benefit right from day one if we're taking financing into account.
Stratton has also taken its net zero expertise to other projects.
We're really still driving and trying to define the formula in Muskoka to build the most cost-efficient net zero home that we can. We also work on multi-residential projects. We just finished one with Habitat for Humanity. That'll be this chapter of Habitat for Humanity's first net zero ready project. And then interestingly and kind of organically, will reach out to us that we're working with right now with projects that are going into the ground this year for net zero and sustainable resorts, which has not been on our radar.
We toured Stratton's award-winning Net Zero Ready home, and it was amazing. But the big achievement of Newman and Stratton is all the time they put into learning how to build Net Zero Ready for as little extra cost as possible. This allowed them to confidently commit to building everything they build to a Net Zero Ready standard. This achievement puts Stratton Homes in an elite club of Canadian builders who are building cost-effective net zero. This is chasing net zero. Visit greenenergyfutures.ca to learn more and be sure to subscribe to the series. For Green Energy Futures, I'm David Dodge.